What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Joseph Parker, Kevin Berry. The two have decided to part ways. Joseph Parker says Kevin was with me every step of the way, guiding my progress inside and outside the ring. Trainer Kevin Berry guided the New Zealander to a world title over Andy Ruiz back in 2016. But Joseph Parker has announced an amicable split from long-term trainer Kevin Berry after long weekend's victory over Junior Fa. Now, they have decided to part ways after the Junior Fa fight. But Parker, being who Parker is, this is what I do appreciate. He says, without Parker, I wouldn't be where I am today. Together, we made every step, as I just read you guys. But the time just feels right. It's fitting that we close this chapter of my career with a win in front of a great home crowd in Auckland and with bigger things just on the horizon. I know Kevin will always be in my corner. Okay. He says, I'm hugely proud to have played a part in the New Zealand and Samoa crowning their first heavyweight world champion, said Berry. It has been an amazing journey with Joseph and Team Parker, but all journeys must come to an end, and the time is right for myself and Joseph to go our own directions. So, they've said a lot of these things, but with Kevin based in Las Vegas, and Joseph keen to spend more time in New Zealand, and not to mention the restrictions on travel created by COVID-19, this was a natural time for the New Zealand's most successful sporting partnership to come to a close. He said, I'd personally like to pay tribute to Kevin. He worked tirelessly to make sure Joseph capitalized on his natural talent, and the result have been there for all to see. Kevin's place in history as New Zealand's finest boxing trainer is well and truly secure. So, these guys have made a choice to separate due to circumstance. Not necessarily that, hey, I'm learning all I can learn from you, or I lost, or I almost lost because of you, or I feel that another trainer could teach me more, or that type of situation. It wasn't like that at all. So a lot of people think that these guys have split up due to the fact that somebody else could be better for Joseph Parker and all that. It doesn't mean any of that. So don't believe the hype, okay? These guys have a good relationship. They both had good things to say about each other. They didn't wish each other ill will. It was one of those things where, hey, sometimes distance does matter, okay? And preference does matter. You know, this is one of those situations like Mark Hicks and Dillian White. This is not a Gennady Golovkin, Abel Sanchez, or Manny Robles, Andy Ruiz, okay, or Andre Rozier and Danny Jacobs. This is nothing like that. Those guys left each other, and that shit, all of them, as far as I know, had a lot to do with money, except Andy Ruiz and Manny Robles. That was a little different. But I can respect Joseph Parker and Kevin Berry, and they decided to do it together. They didn't one day, Joseph Parker walked into the place and after he said, oh yeah, Kevin's been great, and then the next day he comes and gets somebody to fire him. Okay, that's Andy Ruiz shit. That was what Andy did. He did that. This ain't the situation. So these guys splitting is not as sad and it's not as disappointing because of how it went down and how you end things. See, an ending is not always bad. It's just how you do it, okay? Just like when a person retires, it's not always a bad thing. Just like when a person loses, how does he lose? Okay, does he lose from going out on his shield? Does he lose from having a good fight or a close victory? Or when he loses, he makes excuses? Or he complains and blames everything else on everyone else. This is not one of those situations at all. So to set the record straight, Kevin Berry and Joseph Parker will always be, I think, like this. I don't think it'll be any bad blood between them. And it was a good decision because, see, a lot of times when fighters leave trainers, they leave them due to a fact of there's always a cue. And the cue is, okay, hey, I lost, and you know what? I can't lose again, so I need to find another trainer. You know what I'm saying? The best thing that happened for these two is that they left victorious. They left on top. They left beating a rival that was undefeated. Regardless of what you feel about the scorecards or whatever, they made the win together. That's what's important. Okay, and since they made the win together, they will never have any bad blood. It'll never be any like, hey, you know what? Man, the way we left was fucked up. They left right. And I think a lot of people need to leave in any situation the same way these two guys left. Either they're man and wife or trainer and fighter or whoever, right? I think this is the perfect opportunity. And look, I don't feel bad one bit about this, you know, because I'm pretty sure that Joseph Parker will find somebody, you know, where he's going or where he's staying rather, to suffice, or I hope so, you know. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Joseph Parker and Kevin Berry parting ways. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.